Picture this. You grew up in a war zone between your brother and your father. Your dad would make the rules and your brother would break them just to spite him, and then Dad would explode. He would yell and scream and go on forever and ever, and you felt like you had to be the barrier just between them so they wouldn't kill each other. But if you try to get them to sit down and talk about it, your brother would say something sarcastic, and then Dad would just erupt all over again. Clearly, talking through confrontation was not an option in your house. So you'd do anything to distract them to stop the fights. You'd try to be funny, crack a joke, anything but serious talk. And you became really funny. You became the clown, the entertainer. Turns out, you learned that being a peacemaker was all about avoiding conflict and telling a good joke. Sometimes you'd tell your parents what they wanted to hear instead of expressing how you felt to avoid conflict. It was always about making other people happy, and this became your identity. Even at school, you became the jokester, always the life of the party, always making people happy, smiling, laughing, always saying what you knew people wanted to hear, even lying to people to make them happy. Anything to avoid conflict. But the minute you felt confrontation coming on, your brain would signal, "Warning! Possible explosion ahead!" The minute someone said, "Hey, we really need to talk," if you couldn't joke your way out of it or just tell them what they wanted to hear, you'd bolt. "Yeah, sure, later, Kay." And then you'd avoid them indefinitely. It looks like not having the guts to sit down with a girlfriend and tell her why you're breaking up with her, not being able to discuss a problem at work with your boss, not being able to open up and express your deepest feelings even when it may not be what someone wants to hear. You may have a lot of acquaintances, buddies, pals, you may even be married, but you aren't able to open up and share your innermost feelings because you've never learned how. A real connection between two people requires being truly vulnerable and expressing how you feel deep down. It's time to stop living your whole life as if your father's in the room when you can understand that peacemaking is not about avoiding conflict by being the world's greatest jokester or people-pleasing. And resolving a conflict does not have to be a scary explosion. It can just be an honest heart-to-heart between two people who care about each other. Hey, this is how I'm feeling. I want to find common ground where we can both be happy. When you can go back to the emotional roots and really heal, then you can stop stuffing your feelings down to avoid confrontation. It's gonna take outrageous courage to let yourself be vulnerable and express how you're feeling deep down. Stop avoiding confrontation and suppressing your feelings so you can start connecting with the people you love on a deeper level. Master your inner world, transform